everyone. Somebody in the comments to one of my videos said that they wanted to see the bloopers as well as the paintings that went well. And I think on this occasion I have fulfilled that brief. So it was a flip cup and a dip. This was the dipped canvas and I didn't show it in detail on the video, so I'll show it to you now. You can see there's lots of lovely iridescence in there. But what we ended up with, sneak preview, is this. So you can see there's quite a lot that happened between a flip cup with these colours and this, which ended up being my second attempt at a swipe. So you'll see that a bit later in the video. I did also dip a tile. It wasn't very successful actually, although there's some lovely iridescence. But I'm still going to finish that off because it's fine. I quite like it. And then some coasters that I did using the dregs, doing some ring pours. So yeah, it didn't entirely go to plan. We still ended up with something that I liked, and I hope you enjoy the video. Here we go. Make sure I cover the corners. Oops. That's 1, 2. Out the way. 3. Yeah, gorgeous, bright colours, just as I had hoped. The speckling is from the iridescence. I noticed this last time. Cover this corner again. But I don't think it is a problem. So I think I probably will use this 5th cup. It's got a lot more purple in it. So that's a bit of a variety. Good, okay, now. Oh yes, right. I'm going to dip first. And just going to press down. Hopefully make sure that there's no bits of the canvas that don't get covered. Let's do this properly. And then pull up. And yeah, completely covered. Very bright. So that's lovely. That's a bit unfortunate. What am I going to do about that? Might just pull my finger through it. It just had some nasty little spiral effects that wouldn't look good in the final product, so get rid of those now. Paint catcher, right, let's cover the whole canvas. It's going to be very heavy. Not only the paint, but the, oh no, that's interesting. But the cardboard underneath as well, I was going to say. This end is travelling a lot faster. Why is that? Never mind, nothing we can do about it. Just got to make sure that we cover everything. Now come back. Yeah, bit of a workout for the arm muscles. I've just spotted a little flake of paint as well here. Now what am I going to use to get that out? Can I lift it out with this? Oh, it's a lump. Right, down to this end now. So I'm wondering about my tiles. Do I want to dip those now? Probably, I'm going to try. I'm going to do, before I go up to these corners, I'm going to dip a tile in, see what happens. The paint is quite forgiving at this stage, but it won't be for long. Let's move that out of the way. I will show you that later. There's a couple of bits that weren't covered, but I think I can deal with those quite easily. Move the paint catcher around. Now, I make sure I've got this canvas supported underneath at both ends. Oops, come on. Yeah, it's kind of weird how much variation there is in the speed of movement. I'm not quite sure why that is. But anyway, we've covered our canvas now. That corner wasn't quite done. I did say that I was going to torch earlier. Haven't really done that, but there's still a lot of paint on here. The cardboard I got underneath is slightly sort of domed, so it's pushing the paint out. I might need to remove that. I'm going to torch this quite thoroughly because I want to get quite a lot of cells. And I'm particularly focusing on the central bit. There might be too much paint on the canvas to get a lot of cells in the middle at the moment. That's what I'm trying to establish. There's some really beautiful iridescent blue green cells here. It's very bright. So I'm going to walk my paint towards the camera. I think there's just more paint at this end that's where it's moving more quickly. Maybe I'll tilt this way just to get rid of some of that, so that it all starts moving a bit more evenly. I can see the iridescence. It's very beautiful. Right, come on, let's get you moving. Still a lot at this end. Let's pour a bit more off. So I've poured quite a lot off. I'm going to torch again now. Hopefully get more cells in the middle. I mean, I'm not going to be too, I'm not going to be too obsessed about getting cells. I had to stop there because there was a blob fell off my glove. Don't want any more of those. Where did that land? Well, never mind. If I spot it, I might dip into it. It's really very different from what I was expecting. Not as many cells, and I think maybe that's to do with the iridescent colours. There's some coming up around the edges. Yeah, a few more in the middle now. think there are some very pretty cells. I'm just going to leave that for a few minutes and see what develops. Okay, so I am back and trying to rescue this because I decided I didn't like it. I swiped, but it didn't work, so I've ended up tilting a lot of the paint off, and I'm going to try swiping again. So I've made my swipe colour a bit thinner. It still needs a bit of thinning, I think. It's Prussian blue, Amsterdam Prussian blue that I'm swiping with, and I wanted to use a dark colour to tone down some of those colours because they were just a bit too lurid even for me. And I think I've used Prussian blue to swipe before, and it worked out well. So let's have another go. So I'm going to put some sort of lines of the swipe colour that my swiped paper, my tool, will pick up as we go along. Go right up to the end. And then a nice thick layer there, and on my swipe tool, which is a piece of photographic paper. So I'm going to put some on the edge of this and then get going. Make sure it's engaged all the way across the paper. Stand steady and then just lean back and drag it towards me slowly, and hope that it stays engaged all the way along. Any bits that end up being missed, I'll have to go back and do again. The danger of bits of it lifting off gets greater as you go along. That's why I try and lay these lines of the swipe colour so that it effectively kind of refills the swipe tool, refuels it. And there, off the edge. Well, that worked pretty well, I have to say. Clean the edge of the swipe, the paper. I'm going to use the other end now, although it has got a bit, it's got a bit bent, so I'm not going to use that. Oh, I need a new piece of paper. So, cover the edge again. Okay, it's just going to be just a little strip at the end that's not done. Okay, stand square behind it and pull. I haven't managed to keep that very straight. Never mind, it's not too bad. And off the edge. And it's just a very small amount at this end, so I'm just going to quickly do that. Put that out of the way. Oops, oh dear, that was careless. Is that silly? Might be. Maybe I will just dip a bit of kitchen towel into that. That's all right. Yeah, my swipe colour was too thin the first time I swiped, and the cells that came up were not very nicely formed at all. These look a lot better. Now I'm just going to slightly tilt away from me just to see if we can get some of the darkness off the top there. If it doesn't work, I'll stop. I don't want to risk overstretching these cells that have come up already. I don't think much is happening actually. So I'm not going to try that anymore. Just going to torch. Some lovely bright cells popping up here. See if I can bring some up here. Yeah, there's some, what I was hoping for, and I think I am getting it, is it's almost like a mother of pearl sort of effect. So I've got all those bright colours underneath this very dark, slightly greenish blue, and yeah, there's, and with the iridescence as well. I think that's working quite nicely on this now that I've swiped it. Right, I'm going to leave that and see what happens. So as I briefly showed you at the beginning, this is what we have ended up with. And I have to say, I really do like this. I like the bright colours that are popping up from the dark background. There's not a huge amount of iridescence coming through, but it's just some lovely combinations of colours. I'm not sure whether this is an underwater scene or maybe some sort of fantasy forest. It slightly reminds me of an Arthur Rackham print that we had on the wall when I was growing up. So perhaps these are sort of tree trunks. I did do some extra swipes and torching at the end just to break up the Prussian blue, because there was a lot of it there. And so yeah, I'm very happy with the way that that's turned out. It's not the sort of usual bright tight cells that you get with a flip cup, but it's a different effect, but one that I do definitely like. So I hope you have enjoyed that and that you'll join me again next time.